Okay, today is a top 5 update. It was supposed to be a review, but welcome to my world. What a chaotic few hours, man. I had a plan. I did a close-up shot of the AQ3 by AudioSense. Let me go ahead and pull it over here because it needs to be here for a little while. I did the close-up thing. I think some of you are happy that I'm not doing that. I like that actually, so I'm gonna keep doing that. Shorten it a little bit, but I'm not doing that for this because this is not the video that I thought it was going to be. My top 5 is the Voyager 3. Number 2 would be the Shozy or the Aiko OH10. These are they're using OCD moments like Tupac, Dear, Mr. President, 315, a pick slide on a guitar string plus deck work at 3 minutes 15 seconds, being very specific with you guys. Sounds excellent on both, and it's, among other things, sounds better than the AQ3. So here's what happened. I'll do this as fast as I can so that you guys don't get freaked out or whatever. The BQ EYZ Spring 1 is out of the list, and that was kind of how this went at the beginning. I took this out of the list, which led to me thinking I need to get a case that's like this, but like double long, so I can do a 10. So I think that would be cooler because then people won't feel that gut punch, like I just bought that fucking thing, what's he doing? If I moved it over, it might be like, oh yeah, you know, the progress, new stuff, can kind of get it. But to take something out of a box physically is I don't like it, and I think it implies that this is not a good set when it's no different than it was 2 days ago. It's just, I don't think it's as good as the AQ3. So this would be over here. So if you guys see a case like that, not a big massive case, but like a long one that you might put like a clarinet or something in, you know what I mean? That might be what I need to look for. Left, right, is that working? I did wipe the lens, so it shouldn't be reflecting these colors that much. So that's out until I can get a bigger box, and then it'll go back in. It's just not top 5. I'm listening to Violent Femmes. Did I go through this yet? Nirvana, Lithium, Radiohead. I'm just going to skip because I listened really OCD on some stuff. Nirvana, Lithium, the kick drum was brilliant on the fucking Shozy. More than anything. Tupac, Dear Mr. President, 315 timestamp. Listen to the Shozy. I did. That became the default measuring stick. That pick slide and the deck info at the same. Listen to this, listen to this, listen to this, listen to the Spring. Also listen to the Starfield. And then Neil Young vocals on Ohio at 37-second time. Because Neil Young's got this kind of honky voice, so it's very easy for the harmonic oddities of the replay to get stimulated by Neil Young. If you guys, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So the BQ EYZ was out. I started to, the honeymoon period, how we doing, the Voyager 3. So I went ahead and I had graphed them both, decided to take a look. And the AudioSense has got a really big bass, but it sounds quite good on Violent Femmes. Most of the listening that I did before I even wrote anything down on paper was Violent Femmes, because it's what I listen to, and it's the bass on the AudioSense AQ3 is great, and the treble looks high. It sounds better than on the T800. I think the AQ3 is a better set than the T800. That's an 8 balanced armature set because the bass sounds really great and the treble doesn't sound borderline offensive, though the graph would indicate that. This is where graphs have their limitations. The comparison relative to another thing is valuable, but looking at a graph itself I don't think is so much. So if I looked at that, I'd say, wow, that looks like it might be kind of shouty. It's not. The AudioSense AQ3 is not shouty. So I went ahead and I put this in. So it's not in the box now, but it was in there for a little while. And then I got onto Discord, and somebody was talking about how the Shozy 1.4 was really great. And I hadn't really listened to it that much and thought, this is in the price range, so why not bust it out? The people in my Discord kind of know what I listen to and what I like, and I got a sense for what they like because they talk about the gear in the Discord. So I thought, I'll go ahead and listen to that, and boom, all things went nuts. Because instead of being a video about the AQ3 with the close-up zoom with the beat in the background, which I love and I'm going to keep doing, I don't care what people say, I'm going to shorten it though. Suddenly, this is coming in, and I got 5 spots, and this just snuck in at the 5 spot. It's not better than the Starfield. I did that comparison. I've been doing this for hours, man. So this was in there for about an hour, and if I put the Shozy in, then this is out. And it actually is. I would say this is probably 6, and this would be 7, and this is not 5. This might be number 2. It's that fucking good. That's the graph for it. That's bass being done by a dynamic driver, and that is a transition from 1K to 4K that is really similar to the Anole VX. It costs $2,200 and is pretty liked for its mid to treble transition, because it's like this. 1K, your ski slope, well, that's about 5.5 dB, and then it settles down and starts to do its little unique signature, whatever that is, and it sounds very appealing. I think it sounds better than the Dunu 3001, but I haven't compared them directly, but going off of memory, I think so. So that would have to be a comparison, but this is in the case of $100 to $200, so I did compare these two, and I thought, that's a tough decision, man. Like, pick one. I don't know. At this, I don't know. So I'd say today was valuable because it reinforced the honeymoon period is over for the Voyages, and I do consider it to be the best in the price range. But this thing came in and took the AQ3 and shushed it off. It was only there for about an hour. And I did a close-up of this thing, man. I totally prepared for it. I did an overlay with this and the Voyager because I thought this is good enough to be in the top 5, but it's certainly not in the top. And anywhere else, I'll consider that at a future date. And now it's over here because I don't have a box big enough for a top 10. So I need a top 10 box. I guess that's the lesson for today, because having an IEM be number 5 for an hour is ridiculous. But this actually is that good. Listen to the people that... There's a phenomenon going on right now related to the Panda, which is a headphone. And if you see it, everybody is enthusiastic. That's what a hype thing is. I won't say anything about that, but I would have been part of that too, but I'm not, because of the other people that are involved. That's Josh Valor. I've seen all the videos because I'm fascinated by watching hypes that I'm not part of, because it's what you guys see me a part of sometimes. So I'm watching that. And Josh he looked pretty balanced, man. For a guy that was really not, I guess, not being in this as a real... I remember when he was doing videos talking about, I'm not really into this, so you guys give me a little bit of time to, the vernacular, the language, and I'm not. So, and I thought, what the fuck? And as it turns out, watching all the videos about the Panda, the person that seemed to know the most about audio and what his audience probably likes was Josh. It kind of blew my mind. So hype time is kind of when you get a clear view of all the reviewers. I learned that through the THX Panda. The most balanced presentation was Josh Valor. I forget, me and him are not close at all, but I got to pay attention. So I don't know what they're going to do with this, and I don't know if there's going to be like a mini IM hype thing for it, because I don't participate on Drop. I don't comment on there anymore. I think I won't get into it, but like Reddit, and there's people that use different names in different places so that they can act different. It's the virtual world. I'm not into that, and I've said that. I will say that Linsol is a seller. Again, you guys need to understand this, because this is a very, very, very important point. A company like AudioSense or BQEYZ, they have their own they have their own virtual stores where they manufacture, or another company makes it for them, and they sell it. It is in their best interest to get those items out because their name is on it. Can you understand? So there's not a lot of room for non-team players for when they send samples out, if they do so. You understand that, right? That's literally their name on it. And then there's sellers like Penon and Linsol that take other people's stuff and they stock it, and then they want to get feedback by people that they trust and by people who are trusted by others and say, do you think this is good? They don't care if it's good or not. They just want to know what you think. And then they take 2 or 3 people that they trust and they combine the feedback and make a decision on to stock it, stock a bunch of it, offer customization options. Like, that's what the seller's trying to do. They don't want to hold anything. They want boxes to be ordered and sent to you, and they don't ever want to touch it or see it, I imagine. Maybe that's going over the line, but sellers want to sell like a supermarket or 7-Eleven wants to put stuff on the shelf that you're going to buy. They don't care. 7-Eleven now makes their own stuff, and they make it a little cheaper, and it's basically identical to other stuff. They get it made by the same people that make the stuff, and they sell it in the store. The people that make it don't care, because if it's sold under 7-Eleven's brand name or theirs, it doesn't make a difference because they're selling units anyway. If they sell 100 units and 50 are 7-Eleven and 50 are the original maker, that's 100 sold. They don't care. They're still getting the money at the end of the day. So if Linsol sells stuff for another company, that other company sold it to Linsol, and Linsol turned it over. So the companies don't care who sells it. They just want to sell it. But if you deal with a company directly, there's pressures that I learned in the DAP game that come with that. Do not fuck around. Like, if they want you to be a team player, Campfire Audio, they contact me when I have 4,000 subscriptions. They don't contact me now. Why is that? Do you understand? Does that make any sense to you? It does to me. I did not enthusiastically endorse their last stuff. I thought that it's metal. It doesn't feel great in the air. I think that I won't get into that because I'm starting to ramble, but what goes on behind in this game is important as what goes on in front, because it's actually the same thing. You're just seeing an iceberg, which is mostly under the water. You get it? I'm all about the music, and I want you guys to get gear that plays music well, so I try to show you the music. I got to put graphs up, because if I don't and other people do, that's one edge that somebody's got over me. And in that sense, this is a game. I've got to be able to do graphs. And how do I do that? I contact the person that does the best graphs in the business, Critical, and I ask him, how you doing that? And he graciously shared that with me, so shout out to Critical. He's good people. He's not a hype person. Nah, he's not a hype person. You guys, when you buy something, look at the track record. And also, if somebody says that somebody's hyping, calm down. And is that because they like the item, or is there something nefarious going on? If they're a regular part of a team, then you might be wise to have the red flags popping up. If it's a seller like Linsol or Penon or others that you can mention, and I'll approve it if it gets blocked, because I want a full disclosure here. The goal is like a convenience store, and that is whatever the buyer seems to be purchasing, to get that on the shelf. Can you understand? It's really quite simple, and all the conspiracy theories can really be put to sleep, because it's all about money. What item is going to make money? Get that. That's the seller freedom. And the people that manufacture stuff or put their name on it are a little less so. So I'm sorry to AudioSense, because I got a free unit, and I actually literally had it in my top 5 for about an hour, but the shows doesn't make that. It can't do it. And the spring is out. If I do top 10, they're all a part of 10 great recs. Or actually, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 great recs right there. All of them very good earphones. The Voyager 3 would be my favorite. The Shozy 1.4 would be a very close second. If you like dynamic bass more, and that's absolutely critical to you, this is a very, very serious consideration. If you're a big fan of the OH10, this is very, very much like it, so much so that there's to designate a difference between the two right now would be total bullshit. I can't discern. The tape and the Starfield, this is just barely holding on, man. This would be a position that would be like this and the AQ3 maybe. I don't know. That'll be a later date. So I'm out of here. This is really what it was supposed to be. It became something else. I've rambled way too long. Did any of this make any sense? Holy crap. I listen to myself as the sounds are coming out of my mouth, and I'm just like, no, stop. Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Let's just leave it with the music and get the fuck out of here. And I'm out. Keep your ears out for the Shozy 1.4. Also, I want to give a shout out to a person named Fast and Clean. There's a person named Fast and Clean, and he was the first person that hyped the B-Lawn before me. But his audience is smaller because it's on HeadFi, and HeadFi is not quite what it used to be. And I took that, and to him, if you watch this or somebody knows him, I would be talking about the Urban Fun right now, bro, but the QC is just no good. If they fix that, let me know. Indirectly or directly, either way, because I love beryllium. You guys know that. I would love to put an Urban Fun in the case where it belongs, but the QC was garbage. But the first I really heard about this was through Fast and Clean too. So that dude's got pretty good ears. The B-Lawn, he knew right away that was a winner. The Urban Fun is a winner. The QC, I can't wreck stuff with bad QC if I know it ahead of time because I'm setting people up for disaster. And the AudioSense T800 was something that he knew about, and also because maybe he knows Elaine, I think is her name. Very nice woman. But I'm sorry it's not in the case. I need to get a bigger case. Shozy 1.4. Holy crap. And I'm now, after brushing my finger on the mic, out. Left, right.